So, one of my favorite trilogies of all time, it is my second favorite trilogy of all time, next to Back to the Future. Back to the Future will always be my favorite trilogy. My second favorite trilogy, Austin Powers. I have seen all three Austin Powers about a quarter of a million times, and I never get tired of it. But the funny thing is, I am surprised that they still haven't came out with an Austin Powers 4 yet. I think the third one came out in 2002, and it is 2024. That is over 20 years later. And there still isn't an Austin Powers 4. And I always wondered why there wasn't an Austin Powers 4. Because they ended the third one on a cliffhanger in which Scott Evil becomes a new Dr. Evil. Dr. Evil turns good, and then his son Scott Evil becomes a new Dr. Evil, becoming evil and bald and everything. I always thought, what if they came out with an Austin Powers 4, in which Scott Evil is the main protagonist? Maybe Austin Powers and Dr. Evil team up and try to stop, the new Dr. Evil, which would be Seth Green, Scott Evil, Dr. Evil's son. Because they left it on a cliffhanger, and I always wanted to see what would happen if they made a fourth movie with Scott Evil being the main protagonist. I've been wondering that for years, and it still doesn't make any sense to me why they haven't made it yet. Maybe they're looking for the perfect story. I know Mike Myers has teased it here and there, but nothing has been confirmed yet. What if in the movie, Scott Evil plans on taking over the world, and it's up to Austin Powers and Dr. Evil to team up and save the world? And let's just say that Austin Powers has I said every movie that Austin Powers has a new female companion. Who would be a big celebrity that a celebrity that would be on the ranks of Elizabeth Hurley, Heather Graham, and Beyonce Knowles? What if they had Jennifer Aniston as Austin Powers' new partner, and they came up with this brand new story? And I guess throughout the movie, that Austin Powers is with Dr. Evil trying to stop Scott. Let's just say that Scott's trying to flood the earth or something along those terms. And there are moments when Dr. Evil realizes he's going back and forth whether he wants to be good or evil, but it's these little context clues that we know that we don't know whether or not he's gonna be good, if he's really good or evil. And at the end of the movie, maybe he sides with Austin Powers stops Scott Evil, and it ends up with Dr. Evil actually choosing, because if you remember at the end of the Goldmember, Dr. Evil became good. Now at the end of the movie, there's a twist, and Dr. Evil sides with Scott. And then at the end of the movie, you see them saying, "We'll meet again, Austin Powers." And I can see this totally happening, in which we have two bad guys, thusly setting up another movie. Which, I would be glad if they just had one more movie. But if they had a twist ending where Dr. Evil becomes bad again, that would be awesome. But the whole movie, you're trying to see Dr. Evil not knowing whether he's good or bad or not. Or maybe there's an ending where Dr. Evil chooses to be good, remains good, and convinces Scott to be good, and can just have a happy ending. But that's just what I think. There's so many possibilities. I know that the passing of Vern Troyer might affect this movie, but Vern Troyer wasn't in the first one. Maybe they could write him off, or maybe even use CGI, or tell a reason why he's not in the story, not in the movie. But there is so many possibilities you can do with a Austin Powers 4, with the ended Goldmember with Scott being the bad guy. like becoming the new Doctor Evil. But comment down below your thoughts and opinions. I know it's been a long time since we've seen a theatrical release of Austin Powers, and I said over 20 years. I mean, I think it's time for one more movie. But comment down below what you guys think. Let me know down below what is your favorite Austin Powers moment. Comment down below if you want to see another Austin Powers 4. And I'll see you next time. Thank you guys.